Hello everyone, hope you're all doing great. I'm F. Merlin Trotrix, and today we are going to start the second part, Writing for Professional Purpose 2. In this video, you will learn how to write a letter. Despite the availability of new technologies to send messages, either through email or text messages, letter writing is an important skill that everyone has to develop. So first, let's look at the steps to remember while planning a letter. First, do a SAP analysis. SAP means S stands for subject, A for audience, and P for purpose. What is the subject or topic of your letter is the first thing you have to analyze. Then, remember the audience. Who is your audience? Who will be receiving your letter? And then the purpose. What is the purpose of your letter? Once you do the SAP analysis, next one is gather the information you need and do whatever additional research that is required to complete the letter. The third point that you have to remember is to make a simple 1 to 3 outline of the points that you need to cover in the order you want to present them. And then the last one is to start writing the letter. Hope you all know the classification of letters. Letters are broadly classified as formal and informal letters. So first let's analyze the format of a personal letter or informal letter. Here is an example of informal letter. So this is the format. At the top corner of the page, write your address and the date. Here is the sender's address and the date written down here. Begin your letter with a greeting of some kind. For example, here you have the greeting as Dear Mom. This is also called a salutation. Once you have begun the letter, use the first paragraph to set the scene and to state the main purpose of your writing. Organize the rest of your letter into paragraphs. In general, you should begin a new paragraph every time you change topics, but this may not be necessary in short letters. Here is the body of the letter. According to the number of ideas that you have to convey, you can divide it according to the paragraphs. Then we have a concluding remark, and towards the end, use the last paragraph to send good wishes, say goodbyes, mention future meetings, and so on. It is common to begin this paragraph with a good reason for ending the letter. Then you can finish the letter with a farewell message of some kind. Common endings are see you soon, all my love, regards, best wishes, etc. So that's also called as complimentary close, and then the signature. So this is the general format of an informal letter or the personal letter. You have sender's address, date, salutation, and you will write the paragraph, body of the letter, concluding remark, and then you have a complimentary close or the farewell message, and then your signature. Now let's move on with the second letter classification, that is formal letter. We have different kinds of formal letters, or the formal letter is written for different purposes, either to make a complaint or to apply for a job, for reference or recommendations, or if you want to resign a job, or to thank someone, or to show the interest. So these are the different varieties of the formal letter. Whatever may be the formal letter, the format of the formal letter remains the same. So let's now look at the format of the formal letter. First of all, we have to remember all the lines are aligned towards a left margin. This is the left margin side, and whatever we are going to start should start from the left margin side. The first one that comes here is the sender's address, that is your address, the person who's writing the letter. After mentioning the address, the next one is the date line. You have to leave a line and write the date. Then after writing the date, leave a line and write the address of the addressee. the person who has to receive the address. That is according to the question or according to the need, it will be changing. That is, if you're writing to a letter to the editor, this would be the sample. Then leave a line and then you write the subject of your letter. That is, what is the main purpose of writing the letter? Whether it's an inquiry letter or it's a complaint letter, etc. Then you start with the salutation, sir. Leave a line and you can start your body of the letter. Usually, the body of the letter should contain 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph should be introduction. Second paragraph, the main content should be discussed. And the third paragraph, the conclusion. After that, leave a line. You should say, thanking you, yours sincerely or faithfully, signature and the name. Sometimes the designation is also applicable. If you are asked to write as a librarian, then you will write the name of that person and you will write below it as librarian. That is what designation means. So thing that we have to remember in the format of a letter writing, formal letter writing, is everything starts from the left side. It's all left aligned. And the format should be remembered as such. So students, remember all the formal letter should follow the same format. And in this video, we will be particularly looking into the cover letter, how to write the body paragraph. Okay, so let's take a look what is meant by a cover letter. Definition of a cover letter. A letter of application sent with a resume in response to an advertised position. A letter of introduction for a job. So in the first video of this part of this lesson, I discussed that CV and resume we will usually send cover letters. So cover letter is something, a letter, it's also a letter which should follow the same general format which is discussed earlier, and it's written or kept just in front of the CV or resume. So it's a response to an advertised position. That is, if you're applying for a job, you write a cover letter first and you will attach your CV or resume. Now let's take what are the advantage of a cover letter. If you write a cover letter, it gives employers a quick summary of how your qualification match with their needs. The employees will be able to understand that your qualification is matching with their needs or not, their job position or not. Second one, it highlights unique specific contributions you would bring. That is, if you are skilled in one field, you can mention it in the cover letter, which the employers may not notice in the CV. Then make a positive first impression, that you give a very positive attitude to the employer that you are good in so and so things. So that's a positive impression. Then attracts and holds interest, inspiring employers to find out more about you from your resume and in an interview. So it's a cover letter is an important thing as it will hold the interest. If it is presented very well, it will hold the interest of the employer and they will be forced to look into your resume and thereby call you for the interview. Now let's do what does your reader need to know from your cover letter. The first paragraph of your cover letter is the opening paragraph. There you should use concise sentences to grab the attention. Identify your target job, where you saw the ad, and if someone who knows the employer referred you, give the name of that person, your interest in the position. These are the things that you have to discuss in the first paragraph. Remember, you have to mention from where you saw the ad and mention it. And if there is someone who has referred you to, mention their name as well and show that you're interested in applying for this job. In the second paragraph of your cover letter, highlight your strongest qualification and demonstrate how these qualifications will benefit the employer. So here you will say your qualification but not in detail, but whatever job you're applying for, according to it, if you have a good qualification or any personality that you have that is matching to the job required, then you might highlight in the second paragraph. The third paragraph, demonstrate your knowledge of the company, create interest by showing your value. Give a detailed description of your experience and do not tell your qualifications if that's not necessary. For example, this paragraph can be added with the second paragraph as well. So you are demonstrating the knowledge, what you know about the company and how useful you will be for the company. You need not demonstrate all or do not describe all the qualification needed for that, or whatever you have, all of the qualification you have in this cover letter that they can look and learn from your CV. But then just mention the one qualification which is applicable or which is the highlight because of which you are applying for the job. Now in the closing paragraph, thank the employer in advance for their consideration and that you are looking forward to meeting them soon. So this is the body of a cover letter. So as I mentioned earlier, all the formal letter will have 3 paragraphs. So according to the need of the letter, you might include a paragraph if needed. But usually an opening paragraph should be there, and the second paragraph where you mention the main content, and then the closing paragraph. So children, in this video we learned the 2 types of letter, formal and informal, and we also saw the format to write a personal letter, and then we saw the different types of formal letter. We also saw the general format of writing a formal letter, and then we saw in detail how to write the body paragraph of a cover letter. Hope this session was a fruitful session. Thank you, children.